Okay, so ABNcast has taken the opportunity to pop down the road from our London offices to the Excel Centre in London, where for 2 to 3 days this week, World Travel Market is taking place. It's one of the biggest trade shows in the travel industry in Europe. It fills the entire Excel Centre. And we've come down to the stand of Saudia, the airline. It's one of the more impressive stands. We're in a lovely second floor air-conditioned office, and I'm joined by Arved von zur Muehlen, who is the Chief Commercial Officer for Saudia.
Yeah, thank you so much for visiting us. It's a great pleasure to talk to you, Lee.
No, it's a great pleasure to see you today. And what is a busy trade show for you? I know there's lots going on, particularly in the Saudi area, which covers a large proportion of the Middle Eastern section of the show today. But just tell us a little bit about where Saudia is. I know you're marking your 80th birthday this year, so tell us a bit about why that's such a great thing to mark. 80 years in operation is quite something for an airline.
Yeah, I think 80 years is kind of a milestone for us. But what is really important is, that with the Vision 2030, we also embarked on a transformation process. So we are most likely one or the only airline in the world that needs to grow substantially while it's transforming itself.
Right.
And we have embarked on a full transformation. And yes, we have our 80th birthday, so that's a landmark birthday this year. And we think there's a lot of heritage around Saudia, but the future, is very bright for us. So we combine both the future and the heritage.
You mentioned the 2030 vision for the kingdom. Just give us an idea of what role the kingdom sees aviation and travel and tourism playing in that.
So I think the Vision 2030 is a very bold vision of the kingdom to transform, society, but also the economy of the kingdom. And Saudia plays a key role because we are kind of the bridge between the kingdom and all the countries outside. Yeah. To bring more guests and more travelers into the kingdom. We have very ambitious targets of 330 million guests by 2030. 150 million tourists and 30 million pilgrims. Right. So as the country has transformed and opened its borders and its hearts to all the tourists, and it is a very bold vision.
Put that into perspective. Big numbers there, and we've seen the growth in recent years in places nearby like the Emirates and so on. If Saudi achieves those figures, that will put it very high up on the world scale in terms of tourism, won't it? I mean, these are significant numbers to hit.
Yeah, these are very significant numbers. Yeah. As I said, it's a very bold vision and ambition, and it's also something we at Saudia really take to heart because it's a task also to us. 68% of the Saudis are below 30 years old, so it's a very young population. We have a huge market, 28 airports. And we are kind of the business card the kingdom hands out to any guest, that is flying to the kingdom on Saudia. Yep. So we had the ambition to transform Saudia into a modern airline. Yeah. Very digitally driven, artificial intelligence, but also with a mix of new products and services.
Yeah. So you come at this, you do have legacy because you're 80 years old. You maybe not as much legacy as some of the more established airlines out there, but I'm sure you've got the legacy problems to overcome. How are you addressing that? There's modern technologies that are coming into play now that all airlines, all the aviation sector as a whole are trying to adopt, and it's obviously a very difficult thing for airlines to do because they do rely on the legacy technology. They simply can't get rid of that because it's fundamental to how they operate. How do you see Saudia sort of showing the aviation industry how it's possible to transform while still being operational?
Yeah, I think the legacy IT infrastructure is, it is somehow needed, but on the other hand, we decided basically to jump ahead rather than following the beaten path of legacy. So we talked to all our strategic partners, IT partners, and we said we have 3 guiding principles. Number 1 is modularity and flexibility, because technology is evolving so quickly. You cannot have signed a 10-year contract now, and commit to one technology. Second is
future-proofing
co-creation.
yourself, really, isn't it?
Yeah,
things are changing so quickly.
Amazingly quickly. Second is co-creation. We want to co-create with our IT partners and not buy ready-made products and make them fit.
Yeah.
And thirdly is really the control aspects. We want to control it, and we want to make sure that the offers we are sending out or the service we delivered, we are in control of it. So legacy for me is, it's kind of a strong word, that a lot of negative attributes to it. Yeah. But we try to overcome it now, and I think the latest technology, especially AI, opens the box for us to find the right use cases, to improve customer service and efficiency with AI.
Yeah, everyone's looking at. I guess they're looking at Saudi in general to see, what the art of the possible is in aviation. There's you guys. There's also Riyadh Air, who I think because they're coming at this completely startup with no legacy whatsoever, there's a lot of excitement about what you might see there. So, do you see overall the kingdom's aviation sector becoming a real pioneer, a real driver of innovation and change?
Yeah, I think the vision enables and forces us actually to do so.
Yeah.
It is. We are actually very happy that Riyadh Air starts flying and operating now to London. They are a close partner of ours. We carry the name of the kingdom. They carry the name of the capital.
Yeah.
So we both serve the Vision 2030.
Yeah.
And we see there's a lot of demand, so we really welcome them, and as I said, it's in full collaboration and code-sharing. We definitely will push the boundaries as much as we can for the benefit of our customers.
Yeah.
And I think IT will play a crucial role, definitely.
Yeah. Let's talk about the specifics of the airline now, the fleet, growth in the fleet. What are you planning on terms of fleet growth, destination growth, etc.?
Yeah, so we have 116 firm orders out there. So it's a very bold order book that we have. We have 39 Boeings, 787s, 9s and 10s that are coming.
Right.
And we have a huge order on Airbus 321s, Neos and XLRs. Next year we will receive every month one plane, and in 27 we will receive every week a plane.
Wow. Okay.
So it's a very bold growth plan that we are having, and it's in terms of destinations we see still a lot of white spots for us in terms of Europe, USA, Africa. We see the demand is so strong that we will.
The vision's a bit like a lot of the other hubs that have emerged over recent years. Is you become a key global hub. A lot of people will go through Riyadh Airport, no doubt. There's the new Riyadh Airport to then go on to the rest of the world, or they may spend some time in the kingdom on their travels. So I know you're trying to sort of incentivize that as well for people.
Yeah, so we have very good stopover products in place.
Yeah.
Now our hub predominantly will be Jeddah for Saudia.
Yeah.
And we envision that roughly 80% will be point-to-point traffic and 20% will be transfer.
Okay.
So contrary to our neighbors, who are focusing very much on transfer, we focus really on guests that come to the kingdom.
Yeah.
And transfer for us is kind of to fill up, and cover the seasons, seasonalities will be covered with Sixth Freedom traffic.
Yeah, and there is a short-term visa for people who buy a ticket if they do want to have a stopover or experience.
It's very easy. Nowadays you go online basically. Your ticket is your visa.
Yeah.
You can go online and just issue it in 2 or 3 minutes, a visa. So it's really easy to enter the kingdom right now.
Let's talk about these these airframe deliveries. Obviously, that's been a big issue in the industry, and you're now optimistic that these will come through as hoped, as planned. Is that easing up, do you think? Are the manufacturers getting back to where they need to be?
So we had, like any other airline, we have experienced delays and deliveries. So we are working very closely with both Airbus and Boeing.
Yeah.
We now have, I think, a very realistic plan that we can plan on. And we hope that this plan will be executed by both accordingly.
Yeah.
So we are not retiring many planes at this point of time because our fleet is relatively young, so it's really addition. And we saw delays, but right now we worked very closely with them, and we feel confident now that the agreed plan that they will stick to those deliveries.
And having that slightly younger fleet, I mean, everyone's trying to keep older aircraft in the air. You maybe don't have quite that kind of challenge because the fleet is slightly younger. So, however, you will have maintenance and repair requirements. How are you dealing with, again, a market where there's a lot of demand and maybe not enough supply?
Yeah, I mean, so first of all, we know maintenance. We have a clear plan of how we maintain. We're 80 years operating there, so we know the conditions and we know the maintenance plan. Definitely, we are looking forward to get more planes and more capacity. Again, as I said, we have a plan in place now. We are planning according to what is agreed with both suppliers. And we are very confident that they will stick to this plan.
Yeah, these new generation of aircraft, they come with a lot of advantages, not least in the sustainability aspect, but in terms of the passenger experience you're able to give on board. I know you're looking at the Wi-Fi connectivity on board. What are you looking at around that, and what will that give Saudia customers in terms of the onboard experience?
Yeah. So first. The Wi-Fi, we had a test flight, I think 3 days ago, with a minister, and he had a live interview on board while the whole plane was actually streaming, and watching a live football match.
Right.
So it was a very good experience, and we are rolling out the Wi-Fi on all our planes. We have 20 already, and it will then go over batches till end 26.
Yeah.
But Wi-Fi is for us is key because our audience is relatively young, and there's just a customer demand to stay connected while they're flying. So that's one part. But we also have embarked, on a full product revamp. So the business seats will be all business suite. All our wide bodies will have a business suite seat.
Right.
Even the narrow bodies, the new ones, will have a lie flat business class seat, which is comparable to the wide body business class seat. So it's not the middle seat is free for you.
Yeah.
It is a full-fledged lie flat seats on most of our narrow bodies.
Are you now looking to set new standards on seat configuration in all classes? I mean,
we believe on the narrow body to fly longer routes.
Yeah.
And if you fly longer routes with an XLR, we believe you should offer a decent business class experience.
Yeah.
And the XLR will help us to develop new routes that, and once they have matured, then we can put a wide body maybe on it.
Yeah. Okay.
So it's a really.
But these new aircraft are allowing you to test.
Yes.
In ways you couldn't before because of the range of the aircraft
and they need we believe in the frequencies and the flexibility. Our guests, just to give them choices.
Yeah.
So smaller aircraft, more choices might be a good way forward for a lot of destinations.
On the onboard connectivity, is the customer of the future, the younger customer that you talked about, are they expecting to be just connected for free as part of the ticket price, or will it always be an additional item they'll pay for on top of the seat?
I think so. First of all, of course, the customer expect to connect freely.
Yeah.
So and it's a competitive product. So I think the market will determine it at the end of the day.
Yeah.
So
you've seen it in hotels. Hotels used to always charge Wi-Fi.
So I think it will. The market will determine it. That it's most likely free service. So we will develop the rules around it, because a telephone call might not something you want to experience when your neighbor is on the telephone, the whole flight. So I think, but staying connected, you can work, you can post, you can stay connected with your family and friends on board while you're flying. I think that's a key experience in line with the expectation of our guests. Yeah,
we mentioned sustainability. It's obviously one of the key issues for the aviation sector. The new hardware really helps with that. What? And obviously we're talking to a kingdom which is an oil Gulf state, but has also got its vision to be sustainable going forward as well. So what role in this 2030 vision does the aviation and the airline play in making not only the sector more sustainable but the country itself?
Yeah, I think the airline. Every airline is involved in sustainability. You have to. Yeah. So is Saudia too. We are fully involved in that. We won the Sky Team Challenge about sustainability, and I mean, the new airplanes definitely have a much lower footprint. We fly, we have the best software to fly the fastest routes. So we're looking at fuel burn. We try to reduce weight. I mean, everything that the airlines are doing, we are doing too. We have a monitoring in place, so we know exactly what is happening. Are we reducing or not? So right now, I feel we are on a good way, but I think the industry needs to come together. It cannot be done by an airline. It has to be done by the whole industry with partners, outside partners.
I think I ought to say this a lot. It's the cost of going net zero. It just cannot be borne by the airlines themselves. They just simply do not make enough money to do that. And everyone else benefits when the airlines do it. So maybe, there needs to be a kind of ecosystem approach to this where everybody plays a role.
I'm sure that IATA is driving this the right way.
We hear Willie Walsh talk about it a lot, and obviously he's there to speak on behalf of the airline industry. Yes. But look, before we finish, let's a quick word on the market. It seems that demand is not an issue. I mean, people want to fly, and there are emerging markets. It's not just the more like where we are today in the UK. The traditional markets are very strong, but you've got India and emerging markets from the Far East. So demand doesn't seem to be an issue. The problem seems to be meeting that demand and operating effectively and efficiently. So how do you see things playing out in the next 3 to 5 years? Do you think the industry is on track to sort out its internal problems so that it can meet this clear demand growth that we're seeing in aviation?
I mean, I can only speak for Saudi at the moment. I mean, Saudi is maybe a special case because it's really opened up. It's a new market. Yeah. There's a huge interest, and you see it around. It's a WTM. What is happening? If you go to ATM or any other the last 2 years, the demand was huge. Yeah. And now all the investment is now, start opening up. The Red Sea is opening up, Qiddiya is opening up, so it's all coming now. It's developing. Mm-hmm. So it's not on PowerPoint. It's real. We will start marketing it. So I don't think the demand is such an issue, and we have a constant flow also on pilgrims and religious demand. Yeah. So I think it's all the segments, are coming to KSA, to the kingdom. Yeah. Definitely, we have a good plan with Airbus and Boeing, for the delivery. Our partner airline Riyadh Air has also a clear plan. Yeah. So I think all Saudi airlines are, poised for growth and moving forward and fulfill the Vision 2030. Yeah. And right now we see that we are kind of on track to fulfill the Vision 2030. Yeah. So every year we see the growth, and we are meeting it, and I think our growth plan is also a testament to what's happening in the kingdom. Yeah, yeah.
Well, I've been coming to WTM for probably 20 years, and I've seen the growth of the Saudi stand, and it's quite astonishing. I think, like I said, when he started, it takes up a large proportion of the Middle Eastern area now, and it's certainly, it is the elephant in the Middle Eastern room, isn't it? It's the big changes happening now. Yeah. Is this coming quickly now? Do you think people underestimate how quickly this change will happen?
So I think, that's a personal view. I don't know. I don't have official data for that, but I think the change in the kingdom is coming so fast. I think we need to educate, our guests, about the possibilities in the kingdom and what they can do, and it is so open. It's you can move freely. It's no problem. You can go anywhere. It's unspoiled.
It's driving not just sort of business or commerce change. It is driving societal change as well. You'll see that.
Yeah, a lot. And now you see the nature of the kingdom. You see the corals; they're all untouched. In the Red Sea. You see the mountains. There was, in winter we had snow in Saudi Arabia. So if I tell this my friends, my Saudi colleagues are like, every year it's snowing out. It's no big deal. If I tell my friends, they cannot believe it that there's jungle in the south. So there's so much happening. And the stereotypes that are out there, I think you need to challenge them, and the best is come and see it, experience for yourself, come and have a look at it, because it's open, and now it's unspoiled. It's a new experience. It's fantastic culture and hospitality there, and it's very easy to maneuver yourself through the kingdom.
Yeah. Well, look, Arved, our time is up, but thanks for joining us and speaking to us about what Saudia plans are, and we wish you the best of luck for the future.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Pleasure.
Cheers.